From the Berkshires to the Sound, from wherever you live in MLB America, this is Inside the Parker. You give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the scoop on Major League Baseball. Now, here's Baseball Hall of Fame voter number 57.
You have another hot take.
Will not NOT make the playoffs.
Shohei me the money.
Rob Parker.
Come on! I've been covering Major League Baseball for almost 40 years now. In New York, in Cincinnati, in Detroit, in LA. I love this game. Let's go! Welcome into the podcast, and I'm your host, Rob Parker. And what a show we have for you today. Before we even get started, remember, press this button, the subscribe button, so that you're always here, always up to date with all the best coverage of Major League Baseball. As you know, I've been covering baseball since 1986. I love the sport. This is the place for your baseball fix. Inside the Parker, sponsored by Cuffin Season. Lock in the flavor your taste buds will love at cuffinseason.us. Get yours today. And for an extra 10% off, use the code MLBBRO in all caps. Welcome into the podcast. I'm your host, Rob Parker, and what a show we have for you today. Philadelphia Phillies manager Don Mattingly drops by. His team has a resurgence going. We'll talk to him on why things have gotten better since he took over. Also, Bill Ladson, a veteran baseball writer based in New York. We'll get updates on the Mets and Yankees, that and much more. Let's go.
To lead off, it's Getting Robbed.
And keep them up.
Rob's hot take on the three biggest stories in Major League Baseball. Number one.
Don't look now, but the Seattle Mariners are finally woken up out of their slumber. They've won 8 in a row, coming into Wednesday's action after beating the Mets 8-3. Here's the big thing. They're doing it with the long ball. And during that 8-game stretch, they've hit 21 home runs during the 8-game winning streak. Only 3 teams did it a year ago, so it doesn't happen that often. The Yankees, the Cubs, and the Angels all hit 21 or more home runs during the 8-game stretch of the season. That was last year. Mariners got off to such a bad start. Coming into Wednesday's action, 4 games over 500 with this 8-game winning streak. So it looks like maybe things have turned around for Seattle, and maybe they will win the AL West. It looked kind of shaky early on. Obviously, there's a long way to go. June just has started, so the Mariners are making their bid again. No one's doing anything to be scared about in the AL West, so it looks like the Mariners can get this ship righted, get Cal Raleigh back and back in action and back hitting and doing what he does, and have this team make yet another run to the postseason.
Number two.
On Wednesday, MLB.com released their tracking poll of American League MVP race, and so far, Yordan Alvarez from the Astros is leading the pack with the first place in the poll of 35 experts from MLB.com. Aaron Judge was second in that polling. Now we got to figure out if he's going to be healthy or what's going to happen here. Of course, that's going to affect his numbers. Bobby Witt Jr. from Kansas City was third on that list. And the surprising one was Ben Rice, who's had a breakout year for the Yankees. He was listed in this poll as fourth. In the National League, surprise, surprise, Shohei Ohtani. Again, obviously we get it. The pitching. He's got an ERA of under 1 coming into Wednesday. And obviously starting to heat up with the bat. He wasn't hitting that well to start the season. Remember, the Dodgers weren't even hitting him when he pitched, and now they've changed that. So Ohtani's doing everything. So it looks like a clear front runner in the National League with Shohei Ohtani, both on the mound and at the plate. And in the American League, it looks like there's a 3-man, 4-man race. Bobby Witt's interesting. Ben Rice, can he win it? In his first breakout year, he's hitting home runs, knocking in runs. His OPS is high. A lot of good things there. Can Judge not be out that long if he has to go on the injured list? And Jordan Alvarez has always been one of these great hitters. And depending on where the Astros are, and what kind of numbers he puts up, can he win the American League MVP? The AL race will definitely be big time competitive.
Number 3.
Tuesday night, I saw the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I mean, we've seen it before. It happened to Jose Canseco, where a batted ball hit him on the head and went over the fence for a home run. It happened Tuesday night to Jo Adell. Jo Adell, who robbed 3 home runs in one game earlier this year, had the unfortunate situation of a fluky play like that where he's going back for a ball. It hits off his glove, hits him on the top of the head, and bounces over the fence for a home run. What a weird scene, and what a weird season for Jo Adell to be that great, jumping in the stands, catching home runs, and then have a fluky play like that happen. I mean, just was really fluky more than anything. But he's been definitely an improved outfielder, a guy who can go get it and play well out there in right field for the Angels. But Tuesday night made you scratch your head and say, how did that happen?
Here comes the big interview. Listen and learn.
Oh, it's so good.
Now let's welcome into the podcast, of course, Phillies manager Don Mattingly. Don, how are you?
I'm good today.
All right, appreciate it. Let's start here. You guys made Major League Baseball history, and I'm talking about you and your son, manager. You're looking at me crazy, but manager, a general manager, never happened in the history of this game. Weird, strange, or natural? How does that feel?
It's kind of all of the above. It was a little weird at first, a little bit strange. It's becoming really natural. And I think the time in baseball that we're in right now, there's so much more interaction between the front office and in the locker room. It's up and down. There's multiple guys in our locker room. And it's just a different time. So I think that's made it a lot easier. That Preston's been around these guys probably for a few years now. I'm just coming in, but they already know him, and I just trusted that they would get to know me and who I am.
Let me ask you about Preston. Was there any point that you felt like he has a feel for the game? You know what I mean, Donnie, to be able to look at people, evaluate, be in that kind of job. Everybody can't evaluate, everybody can't play. There's skill sets. Where did Preston come through with that?
Yeah, it happened pretty quick when he went to San Diego, and I knew he wanted to get into sports and get an opportunity to be on the other side in sports, right? And it wasn't too long that I started to hear this voice that was assured of himself and had his opinions, and I really just tried to encourage him to share his opinions in those meetings. A lot of times it's like it gets to be kind of a group talk, and I say, hey, you know what, if you believe something, say it, and you're probably going to be wrong sometimes, right? But at least you've got an opinion, you learn from that. And it was quickly that I could just tell the way he talked, and we would talk when I was in Miami. He's like, Dad, you got to do this, you got to pick this guy up off the wire. Like I was making the move, right? I wasn't making any moves. But just that sound and the way he talked was really interesting to me.
Our guest is Don Mattingly, of course, manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. And of course, you took over as an interim basis here with the Phillies. And what's the approach when you come in this situation, veteran team? How do you approach that?
Well, number one, I'll be honest, luckily I was around for a while. I wasn't just coming in out of the blue somewhere. So I had been there in spring training and with the club. It's a tough situation because the one good thing for me was I had experience in New York. We changed the managers a lot and multiple times during the season. And I always knew that how the players felt. We always felt like it was our fault, like we didn't get the job done. So I assumed our guys were going to be the same, right? And I know these guys, they love Rob. They've been through a lot with him. He's a guy that's loyal to his players. All of the above with him, these guys love him. So I knew it was a situation they were going to be feeling bad. And really all I tried to do was talk about playing better baseball. I knew we had a good team, so I had two things on my side. I had talent and time. We'd only played 29 games. That's such a small part of a baseball season. And when you have talent, you know it's gonna kind of start finding its way. I just tried to give it a little kickstart as far as trying to play better baseball.
I looked, and the first 29 games, the ERA was over 5, and now it's under 3 since you took over. We know about baseball. Pitching, defense is a big part of the game. What clicked pitching-wise for you guys?
I think they just kind of found their rhythm. Wheeler came back, number one.
Huge.
Obviously, like a number one, an ace, or, ace with Sanchez. You got kind of two.
Sanchez is so filthy. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no doubt. So those guys took off, and they really weren't throwing the ball bad. We felt like we were a little unlucky. A lot of balls were falling. When we made an error, it seemed to cost us 2 or 3 runs. It was a little bit of everything. Once that starting pitching kind of got ironed out, got us deeper into the game, allowed us to use our bullpen the way we want to use it, and put the guys in their spots. And then we'd make an error, now we'd get an out, right? And things started to turn for us. But it's the starting pitching for me that has really turned the corner.
All right. This is your third team managing. What have you learned over that? Of course, you managed in Los Angeles with the Dodgers, in Miami with the Marlins, and now in Philadelphia. What have you learned through those 2.5 stints or whatever as a manager?
Yeah, obviously you learn all the time. LA was probably the biggest learning curve because I'd never managed before. So going through that is a huge learning curve. I think the biggest thing I learned though over time, I mean, obviously I like players. So, and I understand that they're not always going to be, killing the ball, making great plays, getting every out. So I understood that part. So I feel like I had an understanding of that. I feel like I had an understanding of the mentality that you want on your ball club and how you go about your business. And if I'm not seeing it, I know what it looks like. And was able to have easy conversations with guys I felt like in those situations. The biggest thing I learned like down in Miami was like, with the way things are now, I kind of started off in an old school approach, and then over time, there's so many more people and so many more people in the locker room, things like that. You want to make everyone feel included in this process of ours, and that was probably the biggest thing is really trying to bring everybody together as a group, as a manager.
In case you missed Rob Parker.
Rob, great to have you here. So I laid it out. I won't give you stats on Ohtani, but you have to give it up now, right?
Well, BK, it's the same story I've been talking about. I'm not dissing him and don't think he's a great pitcher, but the competition, the Diamondbacks, is that the
Diamondbacks are probably a playoff team. Diamondbacks are probably a playoff team.
Probably, or are they? Or will they make the playoffs, yes or no, BK?
They're fringe. They're fringe.
No.
Yeah. They're fringe.
They're not that good.
So, but he can only face.
Do.
Still in all, even I know you're going strength of schedule, which we normally don't do for anybody until like we get to Cy Young and it's like Mike Messina face in the AL East or something like that. But this guy right now, look at the slash line, even the batting average. You like batting average? 301, 420 on base, 521 slugging. The weighted runs created plus tied for the league lead, 0.74 is the best in baseball. Like, come on, Rob. Now, that's it. You don't need strength of schedule. Whoever he's facing, he's so dominant. I'm so impressed now, and I take shots too when I think it's warranted. But right now, this is startling.
No, he's having a really good season, putting it both together. Finally, he's hitting like we expect. So, yes, he's having an MVP season.
Okay, look, he said it. Phillies, meantime, just swept the Padres, 23-10 since Don Mattingly took over. I know you spoke to Donnie. Let's hear part of you with Don Mattingly.
And really all I tried to do was talk about playing better baseball. I knew we had a good team, so I had two things on my side. I had talent and time. We'd only played 29 games. That's such a small part of a baseball season. And when you have talent, you know it's gonna kind of start finding its way. I just tried to give it a little kickstart as far as trying to play better baseball.
That's on your podcast, Inside the Parker. What did you make of what Donnie did? I mean, look, we all love Rob Thompson. We thought, that's a shame what happened to Rob, but there's no denying what's happened since Don Mattingly took over.
No doubt. And you know what? That's why sometimes you need to make a change. I hope the New York Mets are listening. Sometimes you have to do it, BK. And you know what? It saved the Phillies season. They're going to be in the postseason mix. They have a good team. And look at the pitching. Since Don Mattingly arrived, the ERA was over 5, and then we saw under 3. That's it.
Yeah. Well, Zach Wheeler had just gotten back, and Wheeler goes again today. He's the difference. But you're right. You're right on all that. Here's the thing. We never even bring up, will anybody ever catch Oral Hershiser? Because it's like, it's not even on the table. Christopher Sanchez came close.
I'll tell you this. No way, no how. Oral streak now reminds me of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, which nobody will get to.
Right.
I don't think they'll catch Oral. I don't think they'll catch Joe DiMaggio. It's too hard, too tough. Sanchez was pitching brilliantly, and he couldn't do it.
He came within 9 innings. And by the way, the guy running to the plate, a better left fielder with a better arm gets that guy at the plate, and he still has a streak. Did you see that last night? Like he's close to being he's close to being like a start. Now no one goes 9, but he's close to being a start plus of being away from that record.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I love your next hot take. This is so unreasonable. You're saying nobody from the Mets should make the All-Star team. Nobody, not one Met. Give us your rationale.
I mean, come on. Look at where this season is. Look at the payroll. Look at what the expectations were.
True.
I'm sorry.
True.
They're out of it. Why in the world are we rewarding a team that's underachieved? Nobody, not even Juan Soto, belongs on the All-Star team.
Juan Soto is tied with Ohtani for the league lead in hitting. Like just about weighted runs created plus with Drake Baldwin and Shohei Ohtani. Like, come on. He's hitting a little better than Schwarber and James Wood. Like, come on. You can allow Juan Soto to go to the All-Star game, right? I'm sure he'd rather go fishing, but like you'd allow Soto. Soto should go.
He didn't make it last year, BK. Don't you remember when he was Juan Soto? He didn't make it last year.
This year, he's number 1 in hitting. Like, it's a different year. It's a different thing. It's a different All-Star game. You don't punish him because his team is terrible.
If I'm voting, I'm looking for the team next to the guy's name. If it says Mets, no vote for me.
Well, that's you. It's you being you. And sometimes you're unreasonable, and sometimes it makes sense. I get it. Rob, thank you.
When Rob was a newspaper columnist, he lived by this motto. If I'm writing, I'm ripping. Let's bring in a writer or broadcaster, old or new.
Now let's welcome into the podcast Bill Ladson, longtime baseball writer, covered the Expos and Nationals all the way up until 2016, and now is a writer for MLB.com and MLBBro.com. Bill, how are you?
Doing great, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Bill's based in New York, so he's, up to date on the Mets and Yankees, and that's really where we want to dig into today. Let's start. Aaron Judge missed his first game of the season, and now there's concerns about his injury. Can you just update us on what's going on with Aaron Judge?
Well, basically, he has a rib cage injury, and the pain is traveling all the way to the shoulder. That's something I never heard of. So, I mean, it would not surprise me if he went on the IL. We won't know until we get to the stadium this afternoon, but I got to tell you, that would be a huge loss if he had to go on the IL for sure.
No doubt. I mean, obviously, he was trying to repeat his MVP and maybe hit 50 home runs, being the first player ever to do 50 home runs, 5 different seasons. So there's a lot. I guess we'll find out more about Aaron Judge, but definitely when he's out of the lineup, it's a different team. Speaking about out of the lineup, Giancarlo Stanton has been out for the Yankees. What's the latest on him? Is he coming back soon?
I don't think soon. I know he's doing like sprints. That's all he's doing. He's not running the bases. He still can take batting practice, but the key is going to be the running. Once he starts running, then we'll see him right after that. But it's not going to be no time soon. It would not surprise me, Rob, if we didn't see him until after the All-Star break. That's another unfortunate injury there because they need his power. And we can't see Judge do it alone, even without Giancarlo.
Right. Even though Ben Rice is having some season for them as well as he makes
Yes.
his transition to first base. Um, let's go to the Yankee pitching. The hitting's all banged up, but the pitching, Garrett Cole's back, been spectacular in his first two starts since he returned. Uh, when they get Max Fried back and Rondon gets himself together, and it's a pretty formidable rotation.
It's a great rotation, surprisingly. I don't think no one expected the young guns to do as well as they did. I mean, like once everyone is healthy, one of those guys could go to the bullpen. That could really help the bullpen. And Rob, I'll tell you the truth though. Even though they have great starting pitching, I'm more concerned about their bullpen. They don't have a lights out type of guy, and if they can get a lights out type of reliever during the trade deadline, then I would say yes, the Yankees can go far in the postseason. But right now, with the bullpen they have right now, I don't see it.
Yeah, I think that they'll for sure, once teams start to realize that they're out of it and make some trades and moves, they'll get what they need. But when you have a rotation and you got, three studs, four deep going into series, it's going to give you a great chance. I'm not saying automatic, but a great chance. Our guest is Bill Ladson. He covers Major League Baseball for MLB.com and MLBBro.com, both. Bill, let's go to the Mets and the mess that they have over in Queens. I mean, no one could have imagined. Last year was bad enough. They win the Juan Soto sweepstakes and then don't make the playoffs. This year they get off to a really bad start and decide to stay with their manager, Carlos Mendoza. It's just been bad. I don't see how they're going to turn this around.
I agree with you, Rob. And the thing is, the person I blame the most is the GM for letting Pete Alonso go. I think getting rid of Pete Alonso was a big mistake, not only for his power, but you know what? He was not a bad defender because the first baseman you have right now, Vientos, is awful. He is worse than Dave Kingman. And I think he's the worst first baseman I ever saw. And, getting rid of Nimmo was a mistake in the beginning. I love the young guns they have in the outfield now. I love A.J. Ewing. I love Carson Bench because they can play defense. And they also bring a fire to that team. So I think for the rest of the year, I think the Mets need to go young and see where they can go the rest of the way. Now, they're definitely not going to go to the playoffs, but I would rather see them go downhill with young players. That's the only way you'll find out if you have a future or not.
All right. His name is Bill Ladson. He covers Major League Baseball for MLB.com, MLBBro.com, based in New York. And Bill, appreciate the insight. Thank you, my man.
Now, here's the best from MLBBro.com.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Kanan Caldwell, and I'm spitting straight facts on MLBBro.com. Josh Bell starting to heat up at the plate right in time for Minnesota. The switch-hitting first baseman went 2 for 4 with the RBI in Monday's night win over the White Sox, helping the Twins snap a 5-game skid. Over his last 5 games, Bell has collected 7 hits, scored 5 runs, and driven in 3 RBI, while continuing to prove his veteran leadership in the middle of Minnesota's lineup. For the season, Bell is batting .225 with 5 home runs, 32 RBI, 27 runs scored, and 1 stolen base in 60 games. But just a couple weeks ago, he reminded everybody what he can still do, blasting 2 homers, driving in 4 runs against the Astros. But now, the Twins will try to build some momentum as they wrap up their series with the White Sox before heading to a division matchup with the Royals. I'm Kanan Caldwell with MLBBro.com, and I'm spitting straight facts.
For more, right now, go to MLBBro.com.
It's time for a trip down memory lane here on Inside the Parker.
Rob Parker has covered Major League Baseball for 40 years. Now, let's relive a memorable moment of his career.
In 2001, I covered the most dramatic back-to-back World Series games in baseball history. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees hooked up in a battle royale, Games 4 and 5 in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium both ended in extra innings, and both were tied with dramatic home runs. Tino Martinez came up with a man on base and 2 out.
Snowblock, the throw by Sanders. Play at the plate, Yankees win.
For me, a sports columnist at Newsday, it was an eerie feeling in the press room underneath Yankee Stadium.
That the Arizona Diamondbacks won this World Series in 7 games, beating the great Mariano Rivera in the 9th inning of Game 7.
Hey, this is Rob Parker. Come back all season long, every week, as I chronicle my 40 years of covering Major League Baseball. And if you missed any episodes, go to MLBBro.com and catch up.
Make way for Weekend Wagers.
Yo, it's Sean Bo. Fire up those bed naps. Let's go. Capped off May with a win and a loss, brings the season total to 10 wins, 7 losses so far. But yo, let's get June 5th popping with a couple of wins on Friday. And let's start things off in Toronto, where we're taking the Blue Jays -1.5 behind your Savages arm. Go ahead and take the run line on the Blue Jays over the Orioles in Toronto. Then let's finish with a 2-0. Yeah, one more win to end your Friday with the over 8.5 total runs between the A's and the Astros in H-Town. Those two teams have been knocking it out the park. And for more, go to MLBBro.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Parker, the founder and editor of MLBBro.com, where we cover black and brown major leaguers. 75% of the content will be about the current black and brown stars in Major League Baseball. The other 25% will take a look back at some of the great black players. On the site, there'll be a ton of great written stories and videos and features.
MLB Bro, because you need to know.
MLB fans, when it comes to Major League Baseball, no one covers it better than the Odd Couple.
Fact. I am the baseball king.
First, second, third, and home.
We're leading shows with baseball. Game over.
They don't watch it.
They don't know the game.
All in one place. Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love baseball.
In the words of New York TV legend, the late Bill Jorgensen, thanking you for your time this time until next time. Rob Parker, out.
He can't get it. This could be an inside to Parker.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.